Hello lifers. So it is 3:40 and I just now broke my fast, practicing daily intermittent fasting through the holiday season. And I normally would not have gone this late. I usually like to end between 11, 12, maybe 1 o'clock, but I was doing a photo shoot for my website and time just got away from me. So as I was cooking and chopping and prepping all of the meals for the videos that I'm gonna be putting up here, I ended up just like wolfing down half of the food after it was done being made. Like literally I made this amazing vegan sweet potato avocado Mexican-y kind of thing. And I ate almost the entire bowl as the photographer was changing out her camera card. And I made a mint vanilla shamrock shake, so I'm gonna drink that down. I'm going into the gym tomorrow to do a Staiku, which is basically this platform that you stand on and this device scans you and it gives you all of your stats, your body fat percentage, your exact measurements, a claymation body of what you look like. I've been doing them kind of intermittently over the past year. I wanted to see how well I've maintained over the last couple of months, as well as get like a starting point for the beginning of this daily intermittent fasting challenge. So I was craving a warm, home-cooked filling meal, but I didn't feel like cooking. So Gigi and I went out to a diner.
Does my hair look stupid? You look stupid when I take it down.
Let's see.
No.
Something.
You're gonna cut this out, right?
Oh my gosh, these are the best. They're like sourdough-ish. And the butter. I'm definitely needing some protein since there wasn't much in that sweet potato noodle dish. And their servings are usually huge at diners, so I'm gonna do the Alaskan cod and shrimp Orlando, which comes with red creamy Alfredo sauce, and I'm gonna ask for that on the side so that I can still taste and enjoy it, but otherwise, creamy Alfredo is gonna hurt my stomach. I really just want the seafood off of it. Protein, protein, protein. Very lean protein, not so much lean. And I got another side, so random but delicious. I definitely could not put all of that down. Getting the sauce on the side, you only use like a fraction of it. I used more than I thought actually. I would say I ate about 2/3 of my protein. I only had 1/4 of that egg. And I did eat most of my fries. Oh, and I still had my chili. So it's about 10 p.m. and I'm still really full from dinner. So I'm not likely gonna snack on anything else tonight. So just to kind of recap, what I ate today was a big old bowl of the sweet potato noodles with Mexican avocado sauce. Amazing. I had the mint shake. I also had a bar, which I didn't film, and what you saw at dinner. So again, definitely when you're doing intermittent fasting, the goal is to still get in all of your macros. It's really not about a calorie deficit. You know, the idea of this nutritional protocol is that you're still eating the same food, just in a smaller window, but I definitely noticed one of the huge benefits for me is that I feel full and satiated during my eating window, and I do end up eliminating a lot of my snacking, obviously today. And as you saw, I had the fries, I had a roll. I had to be more conscious to get enough protein in. Probably didn't get in as many green veggies as I normally would on a normal day, so that's gonna be my goal for the rest of the week. So overall, I'm pretty happy. Good morning, and it's day 3 of the daily intermittent fasting challenge through the holidays. Yesterday, I went to the gym earlier in the day, so I broke my fast around 11 a.m., which was on the early end. I try to make it to at least 11. So I'm following the 8-16 rule where I'm feasting or eating during 8 hours of the day, consecutive hours of the day, and then fasting the rest of the time. So I was very intentional to eat up until about 7 o'clock yesterday, and then I stopped. And I'm an evening snacker. That's one of the reasons I love intermittent fasting, is so that I can fast in the morning and I can snack. I typically snack up until 10 o'clock at night. But yesterday, since I broke it earlier, I was just a little bit more intentional. I think that's the value of going through a challenge like this, being part of our community page, or really just having an accountability partner, somebody on Facebook or somebody local to you, because I'm giving it just a little bit of extra attention and effort that I normally would have if I was the only one doing it on my own and I wasn't sharing this with you guys. So that's a tip for you. Because when you are doing daily intermittent fasting, the idea is not to take in less food. It's not necessarily a caloric restriction. It's really just a way of eating your foods. So the intention is that you're still eating the same amount throughout the day. It's just you're consuming all those calories and macros within a smaller window of time. So again, I'm following the 8-16 rule, eating during 8 hours of the day and fasting the other 16. But what I'm finding is to get in all of the macros and the micronutrients that I need during the day, I'm actually really full and there's just no room or temptation for the other snacking. So that's definitely a huge plus. So obviously my eating window yesterday was completely different from my first eating window where I didn't break my fast until about 3 o'clock and I ate a good deal later. That's one of the nice things about daily intermittent fasting. I've been experimenting with intermittent fasting for years now and I've tried it so many different ways, and I used to really get hung up on the dogma that if like I started my feasting time, my feeding time right at 12 o'clock, I had to end precisely at 8 o'clock. And I just realized like your body doesn't know that actual clock, where these are just general rules. And so for me, I do well having that wiggle room that some days my eating window is 6 hours, some days my eating window is closer to 10. Now, truly to get the benefits, lessening it down, keeping it to 8 or more, I mean, I think on average, your eating window is at least 12 hours out of the day. So if you're not really changing it, you're not gonna see the results and get the benefits. But just experiment and try different hour settings that works for you. There's so many different ways to do intermittent fasting. There's 2 days of fasting, 5 days of eating, so many different ways. I'm not gonna really get into any of those. This whole challenge was about daily intermittent fasting, so this is how I'm doing it. But I do have a playlist on here about intermittent fasting. So as I continue to do things, I document longer fasting, or if I find some good videos for you guys, I'll link them up in the playlist as well. So this morning I'm running some errands and then I'm going to the gym. Fridays are my usual 12 o'clock sessions, my personal trainer, and I will be fasted up until that point. I'll break my fast with a superfood shake probably around like 1:15, and then I'll probably eat up until 9 or 10. I called the gym. I'm hoping to get my Staiku session in. I've been doing them kind of randomly over the last year or so. I don't really have a rhyme or reason as to when I go in. I should probably change that. But I wanted to get one to kind of mark the beginning of this, and then I'm gonna get one in 30 days at the end of the month and see if anything changed. Honestly, my goal really is just to maintain. Like if I can maintain really well through the holidays, I think that proves this works, right? I know it works. I've done it. It's proven. I mean, intermittent fasting has been around far longer than the eating 6 meals a day or breakfast is the most important meal of the day. There's just so many health benefits and so much science behind intermittent fasting. It's super healthy for you. It's probably one of the healthiest things you can do when it comes to changing your nutrition and your diet. It's honestly one of the easier things I've ever done because I don't have to completely eliminate any certain food group or count any specific thing. And it's definitely one of the things that has given me the best results. One of the benefits is increasing insulin sensitivity. And for me, if you've never heard my PCOS story, I was diagnosed with PCOS several years ago. And I believe I should have been diagnosed with insulin resistance. I don't know if that's something doctors even talk about, but the two kind of go hand in hand. And so for me, practicing daily intermittent fasting has definitely improved the opposite, insulin sensitivity, as I was insulin resistant. And if you want to know more about what that means, I'll link it up in another video for you. So with that, it's about 9 a.m. and I am feeling some hunger pangs, but I didn't drink a lot of water this morning. Beauty of this is it really brings some awareness into your day. And I'm realizing I didn't drink enough water today. So I'm gonna go chug a bunch of water. I will probably make myself a little bit of tea or maybe some organic coffee, something just to kind of hold me over till I get out the door. And once I get out the door, I'll be busy and not be really thinking about it anyways. Definitely the more you practice intermittent fasting, the more you get used to it. And so it's been a little while since I've been out of daily intermittent fasting. So I think that it's probably gonna take me a couple more days just to kind of get back used to the idea of fasting in the morning. So I just got my staiku done and I'm really happy with the results. I'll show you guys here in a second. The plan is to head down to the beach house and just spend the weekend with some friends. So I anticipate eating some not so clean food. So this will be a real test as to how well intermittent fasting works. And I'll be recording all of my food just so you can kind of see like the time windows that I'm eating in and the food that I'm eating. Crazy because I really didn't think that I was making that much of a difference in my physique. I feel like mentally and emotionally, I've been working on that a lot and I've made such an improvement over the past year. So I really felt like from a physique standpoint, I was really just maintaining. I don't feel like I've put a serious effort into my workouts or into my nutrition. So to see the results that I got, I'm super excited. And, and if I could say the one thing is that it's a good example of why you need to do more than just standing on the scale. I feel like it's just super accurate. And I remember when I saw this claymation mold and I was like, whoop, yep, that's my body. You can have this terrible image of your mind sometimes when you're feeling bloated or not comfortable. And sometimes you can take a great picture and, pose your body just right. And to me, having something like this was just completely accurate. So here's the other thing too, is that I was a little discouraged because as great as this photo is, I still didn't see a huge difference. But then, holy cow, when you go to the actual measurements, you can see in a little over a year's time, I lost 7 inches on my torso. And I had no idea that I had that to lose. And honestly, I don't really remember where I was at that point in my life. But I can definitely tell you that I didn't feel like I made that, again, just visually in my mind, I didn't feel like I made that much of a change. So that's really exciting. Again, I lost on my torso, I lost in my hips and my thighs. But what's exciting is there were some points that I actually gained. So in my biceps and my forearms and a tiny bit in my neck. I think there was actually some gain in my lower thigh where like the quad head would attach. And so again, learning how to evaluate your body from so many different standpoints. In this case, I can see, okay, my fat storing areas are lowering, but I had a little bit of growth in those areas. So that truly shows me that that was muscle growth. I only lost maybe like 2 or 3 pounds total, but the pounds lost compared to the body fat percentage loss definitely shows that I gained some muscle, which is super exciting. Okay, so I definitely did not eat that healthily over this past weekend at the beach house, but dang, I am down a pound on the scale and I already was feeling good at where I was at. Plus, I got my period this weekend, so I'm like 3 days into that right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about this daily intermittent fasting thing. I'll continue to record, give you guys updates. Make sure to comment below if there's anything specific that you would like to see or any questions that you have about daily intermittent fasting. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.